You never truly know someone until you discover what they've been hiding behind their smile. My name is Amelia, and this is the story I never thought I'd tell. A story about love, betrayal, and the moment I realized that sometimes the person you trust most can be the one who shatters you completely. For almost 4 years, I thought I had everything I ever wanted. Love, stability, peace. And his name was Liam Carter. We met in college. He was the charming type, the kind of man who could make an entire room light up when he walked in. His laugh was contagious, his confidence magnetic, and when he looked at me, I felt seen, truly seen. He wasn't just my boyfriend. He was my best friend. The one who listened to my fears, celebrated my dreams, and held me on nights when the world felt too heavy. He told me I was his forever, and I believed him. After graduation, we found a small apartment in a quiet part of Riverton, the kind of place where love stories were supposed to grow. We painted the walls ourselves, left messy handprints on the ceiling, and called it home. It wasn't much, but it was ours. And in that tiny apartment, surrounded by laughter and takeout boxes, I thought we were building a life together. But love has a cruel way of disguising the truth. It started with small things. The late-night messages that made him smile when he thought I wasn't looking. The way his phone, once left carelessly on the coffee table, now never left his hand. The faint scent of unfamiliar perfume on his shirt, floral, soft, not mine. I told myself not to overthink it. Love, I thought, was built on trust. And I trusted Liam completely. Until the night he didn't come home. I had cooked dinner, his favorite pasta, with candles and wine, because he said he wanted a quiet evening together. But hours passed, and there was no call, no text. His phone went straight to voicemail, and the unease in my chest turned into something darker. When he finally walked in after midnight, his hair damp, shirt half-buttoned, smelling like a mix of cologne and guilt, I knew. Work ran late, he said flatly. One sentence. No warmth. No apology. That was the moment the first crack appeared in the world we'd built. But I didn't confront him then. I couldn't. Instead, I lay awake that night, listening to him breathe beside me, wondering who he was dreaming of. A week later, I found out the truth. He told me he was going to a weekend team retreat out of town. I smiled, kissed him goodbye, and told him to have fun. But something in me refused to rest. A woman's intuition is a powerful thing, soft, but never wrong. So, I followed him. My hands trembled as I drove behind his car, heart pounding with every turn. He didn't drive toward the highway. He took the back roads, the quiet ones, until he stopped in front of a small house in the outskirts of town. That's when I saw her. A woman with long brown hair and a familiar, effortless smile. She opened the door and welcomed him inside like she had done it 100 times before. He kissed her on the forehead. In that moment, my world stopped moving. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I just sat there, watching from the car as the man I loved disappeared into another woman's home. My heart shattered silently. When I finally drove away, the night swallowed me whole. Every light, every shadow, every breath felt like betrayal. The next morning, I confronted him. "Who is she, Liam?" I asked. He froze. For a moment, I thought he would lie again, but the guilt in his eyes was louder than any words he could have said. Her name was Clara. They met at the gym. At first, it was just talking, then just coffee, And then, as he admitted, it became more. He said it wasn't serious, that it was a mistake. But mistakes don't last for months. Mistakes don't leave perfume on shirts or unread messages that say, "I miss you already." He begged for forgiveness. He cried. But every tear felt like manipulation, every word like poison. Because the man standing before me wasn't the man I fell in love with. He was a stranger wearing his face. That night, I packed my bag and left. No shouting. No threats. Just silence. Silence that felt louder than all the love we ever shared. The days that followed were brutal. I'd wake up reaching for him, forgetting that he wasn't there. I'd see his toothbrush in the bathroom and break all over again. Friends told me I was strong, that I deserved better, but strength doesn't come instantly. It comes through tears, through sleepless nights, through the painful process of learning how to live without someone you once thought you couldn't breathe without. Weeks turned into months. Slowly, I began to heal. I started journaling again. I took long walks by the river, the same one we used to visit together. At first, it hurt. Every place was a memory, every sound a reminder. But with time, the pain began to soften. The silence became peaceful instead of lonely. And then, one morning, he called. He said, "Amelia, I made a mistake. Clara wasn't you. She never could be. Can we try again?" For a moment, I couldn't breathe. A part of me wanted to say yes, because despite everything, a piece of my heart still remembered the boy I met in college. But then, another part, the part that had survived, that had healed, whispered no. I told him that sometimes, love isn't enough. Sometimes the person you think is your forever is just a lesson in disguise. And maybe, that's okay. Because losing him taught me how to find myself again. Now, when I look back, I don't feel anger anymore. Just gratitude, for the heartbreak that broke me open, for the pain that made me stronger, and for the love I learned to give myself. If you've ever been betrayed, you know that healing doesn't mean forgetting. It means forgiving yourself for staying too long, for loving too deeply, for believing too much. Because the truth is, some people come into your life to love you, and others come to teach you what love should never feel like. Have you ever loved someone who betrayed you, yet still found the courage to forgive and move on? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your story. And if this touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories like this. Stories about love, loss, and the beautiful mess of being human.